Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the best teams for Mont here, and this is mainly just going to be for the figure skater Mont, the Wind Ice DPS. Now, this character without a doubt is absolutely amazing. I've been enjoying my time actually playing her, and although I still have a long way to go, especially when it comes down to actually making her very useful, hence the reason for my terrible stats, we still are having some fun, and I want to go ahead and tell you guys what are the best teams that you guys should really be using for this character and what are some options. So if you guys are interested, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. We're gonna have a build guide out for her very soon. I have to get a lot of this stuff pre-recorded so I can then actually focus everything I can to getting that video updated, edited, and just uploaded. So really do give me some time with that. But anyways, when it does come down to figure skater Mont here, which is why I'm just gonna go ahead and keep naming her, she has her two forms. As many of us do know, she has a wind form and a ice form. Both of these forms actually require two whole separate teams here, and they pretty much make her a character that you have to max out everything on, because all of her skills are very useful. They're just situational depending on the form you're in. So we're gonna firstly look at least the wind stated form here. Now, the wind stated form is fairly interesting. And the reason why I say this is because when it does come down to a wind actual state for her, she needs to use some very particular characters. These characters more or less aren't really her being the DPS. They're actually making her into a form of a at least sub DPS here. So if we're going to go ahead and go about her team being at least her main team, let me go ahead and pull that on up for you guys, or at least be able to create it in front of you. That would be this team here. Now, this is going to be her main win team. The main personas that you want to have on Wonder are going to be Vishnu, Norn, and then Narcissist is what I always call it, but I know it's called something else here. I always said Narcissist with it, so we're going to keep his name that way. But those three personas are what you want to have here. You want to have this dagger as well. Oh wait, where'd it go? What the heck? They just switched me. But you want to have the other dagger as well that I had on, because that actually helps out with the elemental elements on here. And then of course, if we have Bino, we're able to proc that winded as well as other elements in this whole team, which makes this all in all better. And then of course, if you're using Futaba with this team, you're already getting some at least decent attack stats from Cord, but Futaba is helping you on the crit rate and crit damage type side of things, which Mont truly does excel at. This would be the main team no matter how you do it, having at least Mont be kind of that main DPS here, Bino helping you on the sidelines for that support, having Cord help you out with the highlights and also get up those little buffs, and then having Futaba over here helping you out as well and making things weak to you. Though there's another way to actually run this team, the more budget version of this team, which I feel like a lot more people are going to utilize. One, because it actually puts Mont into the place that she needs to be in, and that's going to be the support DPS type factor. So for a lot of us here, what you would want to end up doing here is you want to go ahead and actually pop off with Floret. Now, Floret is a 4-star character, and he's technically the main DPS for this team, while Mont is the sub DPS. Then when it comes down to the least next character, seeing a lot of us may not actually have, or at least may not want to use Vino for this team, you could very well use also Mona. This allows you to have a triple winded actual status effect, which you could very well still use Futaba, but seeing that you are using all of course the wind characters, you might want to go ahead and use Phoebe. Reason being is because now we actually can utilize her what is it called, her chalices here, or at least her mixes, to really help you out in the damage department / sustainability department here. This whole team is pretty well rounded, with having at least a DPS, a sub DPS, a healer who actually is really good now, especially since he got buffed as well, and then having a really good navigator. This overall, I feel like you guys really want to go ahead and use. It's a huge good team here, but it's a really good budget option compared to the other one, which many of us should start be building towards too, mainly because of course these characters are finally rerunning. So I feel like a lot of us are starting to get these characters and actually be able to get them. The main only issue with these characters, or at least this team, is a lot of us might not have Futaba, seeing that she did come like right before Haru, and I know a lot of Haru enjoyers out there really summoned for her. So some people may not have Futaba available. So if you don't ever have Futaba available and you still want to use this team, no worries, you still can use this team. Just you want to go ahead and use Phoebe or you want to use Win. In this circumstance, I would suggest using Win because Phoebe does not really give you any affinity, seeing that she works better with mono type teams. So overall, this team is really good, awesome for meta if you guys are chasing for that, and also a fun, really good team. But now going over the ice side of things, her ice side is a little bit different here, which she has a couple different base, like really good teams. I'll explain exactly what she does in her ice form and her wind form later on, at least in a separate video. But for at least the ice team, some things work a little bit different here. Now, once again, she's now put in at least in that sub DPS category here. So if we go ahead and change to our ice team, it would look something like this, and you would not actually use the ice dagger anymore. Yeah, I know, Shaga, right? This is actually going to be a team that's going to be kind of revolved around her to an extent, but really just utilizing her as an asset for Yusuke. Yusuke is going to be your main DPS that he already gives himself a decent bit of sustain, but since she's going into her ice form, she's actually helping him out in the defense department. So she's no matter what going to start off in that ice actual form. The other character that you want to actually have with them is going to be Cherish, but me being me, I don't have Cherish here, so we're gonna play make believe and put, I don't know, let's put a fire character in terms of a freaking ice character. We're gonna put him here, act like this our bootleg Cherish here, in which with Cherish you then would be able to utilize yourself two different navigators. The main navigator that a lot of us are probably going to be using is Futaba if you have it, because this allows us to really get that weakness implant that we're looking for. But you also, if you have Phoebe highly duped as well, she might be a little bit more helpful because she helps out in the mono team department. This team is actually really good if we're still thinking that our man Key is Cherish here. It's a really good team. You have all around a ton of defense, able to really monopolize on Yusuke needing that defense to deal a ton more damage. And then of course you have the follow-ups from at least Mont when you do need so. But like, if you guys are really going to use this is probably going to be the #1 used team, at least for Mont herself. But depending on how Wind does go, it could be the opposite. But I probably think Ice is going to take over for this one. Now, on things that we could very well change around. Things that we can change around in this team is actually a few characters. So let's say you're like me and you don't have Cherish. Well, you very well can still use Yuki, because Yuki is a very good 4-star who recently also got buffed as well. And this character without a doubt is going to help you out in the defense department. It's maybe only on one character, but it still gets the job done. So of course, if you don't have Cherish, replace her, or at least replace him with Yuki, and you'll do pretty darn good. As for, of course, the navigator, once again, if you don't have Futaba, or you don't feel like your Futaba is good enough for this, or maybe you just feel like that you might have better chances with Phoebe, use Phoebe. So do understand that you're not using the mono team anymore, seeing you do have that one blessed character, so you are going to be missing out on one of those chalices or mixes to get that supreme mix. So do keep that in mind, or at least the premium mix. Do keep that in mind, because that is going to be some small little statuses that you're going to end up missing out on, unless of course you have dupes on the character, which will make getting those mixes a little bit easier. Now, all in all, the main thing that you want to go ahead and use is this one here, and then use Phoebe if you are using the mono. But that kind of explains both of those teams. But for you guys, what do you think about the teams? Which team are you going to use yourself? Which one do you feel like is going to end up being better in the future? I want to hear all you guys' comments down below in the comment section. And till next time, everybody, y'all take care.